What's up, y'all? It's your boy Dpeezy here with Dpeezy Chronicles Part 2, just to let you know about my past and what I got going on now. This is Part 2. I'm going to be talking about how I caught my second felony and some stuff that I had going on in between. Just to let y'all know right now, I have 5 felonies on my record and a strike. And I'm not here to glamorize anything. Not glamorizing jail. I'm just trying to give some inspiration to maybe some people that think, that their life is probably done, because that's how I felt. I felt like that for a while, like, man, what am I supposed to do now? I got a bad record and just trying to move forward. It was about maybe 2006. If y'all know from my last story, I told y'all that I was, taking Xanax a lot, and that was kind of always my big problem. Every time I took that, man, something always happened. I either got locked up, got into something that shouldn't have, and so this time, I'm driving, and I had my girlfriend at the time, and it was like, I don't know, 1 a.m. and we're driving by this gas station that I kind of already knew because I've been going there a lot, and they had this little box where they kept all their money in and stuff. And so I stopped at the gas station, and then I told the girl, I was like, hey, go ask the guy to go to the restroom, because I knew that he had to walk her out. So he walks out, locks the door and everything, and takes her to the restroom. And while they're in there, I'm crazy. So the guy takes her out, and they're going around the building to the restroom, and I'm sitting there like, all right, well, this is my chance. And so they have this little window where they open up and serve for like after hours, nighttime stuff for people that want to get gas and they don't want to open up the doors. I ended up opening that up and squeezing into this little tiny window opening, and I found the box, and the box, probably had like 5,000 in it or something. And then I go around to the front, I opened the door that they had locked, and I walked out. I ran to the car, and I checked the box, and it was already loaded and stuff. And I was like, all right. And I'm waiting for the girl, right? I'm like, man, hurry up. And I see her coming around, and I'm thinking I'm in the car, and the guy hasn't noticed anything, but he was already like on the phone and like, hey, stop. And I'm like, oh shit. So I tell her, I'm like, come on. And then the guy like, no, I'm calling the police. So I'm like, damn, it's already a delay because she's taking too long. Like, and the thing is, I'm not just gonna leave her, man. And so I was like, all right, here's the box, man. My bad. Don't call the police. We're gonna go. I'm just trying to get us out of there now. And then so I ended up like giving him the box, but the police swarm up. I was like, oh man. I was like, I didn't take nothing. I gave it back. My bad. They still charged me. They still locked me up. They gave me second-degree burglary for that. And they gave me a year in Orange County. And out of the year, I had to do 8 months. And it was pretty crazy because they had me at like the central jail for a while with like behind the bars and stuff. And then, not being a problematic person, they ended up moving me to this place they call like Camp Snoopy. Like it was a camp pretty much. It was a farm. They called it the farm. And you were able to have like contact visits. People were like, they had everything there. They were smoking cigarettes, but you were outside in tents, like a big old tent with like 90 bunk beds in there. And if it was hot, it was super hot. If it was cold, it was freezing cold because the front of the tent never closes. So all the breeze is coming in. They give you like 2 blankets and a jacket just to stay warm. But it's super cold, so it helps a little bit, not that much. But it was cool, once you got used to it. I people were like in the back smoking cigarettes, and I'm like, what, you can do that here? And they're like, not really, but the guards wouldn't even trip. They'd be like, smoking is bad for your health, just a friendly reminder. And I'm like, oh shit, they see us. But I mean, you still on lockdown. You still don't get like no freedom really. Small little TV share between 90 people, and you just gotta kind of like stay to yourself, find your own thing to do, play cards, work out. Um, and the good thing though was they had contact visits, so you could like if you had a loved one come over, you give them a hug, give them a kiss, and that's usually where they brought everything in that they would sneak in and stuff. So that time I did the 8 months, and it went by pretty cool because they also they gave me this job at the place that was like it was called Midnight Kitchen, and we would go out at like 10 at night, and then have to work from 10. No, they leave us like 9:30. We had to go, work from 10 to 6 in the morning, and you know, at first it was super tough because I'm like super tired and I'm working. They take us on a bus. They take us to the main jail to serve all the food, cook the food. We had to clean up, and if it wasn't clean enough, they'd be like, "Oh, y'all doing it again, clean up again." Um, so that kind of kept me busy during the time, and luckily I had someone that was able to write me and come visit me. Um, so that was pretty, that was nice. But man, I'm telling you, when you're on lockdown, you can't wait for the day to get out. So when I got out, I was like, all right, man, I felt like I was still young, man. I was still like in the party mode and stuff. And I was like, oh, let's go out and party time, I'm free. And so right like after that, that was in between. If you watch my last video, I talk about how I got the DUI, then they sent me back to Texas. So this case where I did the 8 months was after I caught that felony, but before they sent me back to Texas. So that was right in the middle. So I got out, had fun and everything, and decided to take Xanax again. And, my stupid self, knowing how much trouble it's already caused me, I still did it. That's when I crashed on the freeway, and they ended up sending me back to Texas. It was like within a month. Like it was bad, man. I was making a lot of bad decisions when I was young and not thinking about the consequences of what would happen. Um, so now that I'm older and I've decided to change my life around, I didn't have any kids at the time. Now I have my son. He's 8 years old, and he's my everything in my life. Like he's my motivation. He's like the reason I live. He brings me up when I'm down, and I do the same for him. So that's why I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to talk about my past, maybe inspire some people to, not give up on life because first of all, you're never too old to try, and there's a lot to life to just give up on it. It's never too late. When I got out of doing the 2 years in Texas, I was like, man, that's it. I'm done. I'm not taking Xanax no more. I'm just gonna, work and do my thing and be a good role model. I haven't had my son yet, by the way. This is when I'm still, me, by myself. And so I get out of doing the 2 years and I'm feeling good about myself. I've been working out the whole time, and ended up getting a job. It's a hay company. We would like order hay from different parts of the United States and ship it overseas to like different companies that needed hay, alfalfa. And so I had a good job there, and I worked there for 10 years, and just in and out working, working, working. Towards like the last year or so, the ninth, 10th year, I ended up getting a prescription for Xanax. And I'm like, well, if I'm getting it legally and there's in my name on it, why should I even have to worry? So I started taking those again, man. And then when COVID hit, people were like going crazy about guns and stuff. So, um, being a felon, you're not allowed to ever have a gun. So I had someone buy one for me. I paid for it and everything, but he bought it for me, and then I had it. Um, it was a 380, and then I had a 9. I had ammo and everything, and I would I was like, always thinking like, okay, well, I'm just gonna have it as I need it. Then it came to a point where I got too comfortable with it, and sometimes I would ride with it like under my seat or hold it and stuff. And so we ended up going to a shooting range, and well, kind of a shooting range. It was like a place that was like a field where we would just shoot stuff. So we're doing that, and like right after I had taken some more Xanax, man, which is my downfall, and I had my 380 in my pocket, right? And so I'm in the house about to take a shower, and I pull out my pocket, and it's all customized. It has hairpin trigger, all the guide rod, everything was like customized. I pulled it out, and I didn't clear the chamber. I cleared the magazine, but I didn't clear the chamber. And right when I pulled it out, it goes bow and shoots through the top of the ceiling. Thinking that could never ever happen to me. All the stories I've heard, I'm like, that's not gonna happen to me. I'm gonna be careful with mine. It happened. So I went bow, and I stood there for a second, like, oh shit, am I hit? I didn't know if I was hit or not. And I looked to see the bullet went through a stud. But then the neighbors called the police. Cleaned up the mirror, broke all the broken pieces. Was about to, get a new mirror and everything, not knowing that the police were called. And so the end up later, the police pulled me over. I guess they ran my license plate, and I had my 380 right under my seat. I had my 9 and a gun case in the back. So, right away they find the gun. They could tell me come out with my hands up because they already been looking for me because of the initial call. And I had all these SUVs surrounding me. They're like, get out, put your hands up, interlace your fingers behind your head, get on your knees. I was like, fuck. And they search it, and I had like 200 rounds in the back, man, just hollow points, hollow tips, and full metal jacket. I had all types, man. And so they gave me felon in possession of firearm, felon in possession of ammunition, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. So ended up catching 3 felonies, man, on that one case. After I've been doing good so long, the moment I turned back and took some more of those Xanax, everything just whoosh. So that's something that I know that I ain't gonna mess with, man, because it's always come out to a bad outcome. No matter how good I'm doing, it finds a way to like make me want to do shit that I ain't supposed to. So yeah, man, I'm good with that, man. So I get busted, and they ended up taking me to LA County. I go to court, and actually had to postpone court many times because of COVID. And when I finally went, they offered me 16 months upstate or 12 months, a year and a strike in the county. And I didn't want to go upstate at the time because I have to deal with a lot of extra shit. Like, I was born in Okinawa, Japan, on the Naval Air Base, and my dad was in the Marines. But for some reason, I always have to deal with like immigration afterwards. I mean, I have a social, birth certificate, everything, but I always have to deal with that. So I was like, all right, if I go upstate, I'm gonna have to deal with that. If I stay here, I won't. So I stayed at the strike, got out, and they just required that I go into a halfway house. And that's where I did my halfway house videos and everything. And my son showed me TikTok, and I was like, oh, I could do something on TikTok. And that's how I started doing the TikToks. And now I've been here about a year now, and I leveled up to where now I just got eligible last week to take overnight passes. So it's cool, man. At first I couldn't go anywhere, and now I'm at a point to where I'm allowed more freedom. I've only had one overnight pass, and that was on Christmas to spend with my son. So there's still more to come, and I feel good. I feel like I have my head on straight. I'm not gonna. There's no motivation to go back to that with my son in my life right now. Our bond is good, and our bond is strong. But stay tuned, and I'm gonna tell you some more about stuff that had happened in the jails. Because I've been to multiple jails, man. It's nothing to brag about. It sucks. I wish that didn't happen to me, but since it did, I might as well share it. You know, I feel better sharing it than holding it in. So I'm gonna just let y'all know, you know, and whoever's been in trouble before and they want to change their life, just know that you can. Um, the only thing holding you back will be your own thoughts. So just change your thoughts to where, like, you know what, you could do this. You're gonna change, and do it. And I just want to say thank you all for tuning in. Much love to everybody. And please follow my IG at Dpeezy2099. I need to get up over there. I'm gonna be putting pictures and stuff. So thanks again for tuning in. Till next time of part 3 Dpeezy Chronicles. Stay tuned.